I'm going to describe a situation to you, and I want you to tell me if this sounds insane. Ford, the company that basically invented the American automobile, the company that gave us the Model T, the Mustang, the F-150, is now begging a Chinese company to use their factories. Not partnering, not collaborating as equals, begging. And in exchange, Ford gets to learn how to build cars again. You need to understand what is happening right now because this isn't just a business deal. This is a surrender. The Chinese company is Geely, and the car at the center of this entire story, the Geely EX5, a compact electric crossover that Ford's CEO literally said represents technology his company is decades behind. Decades, not years, decades. Here's what we're talking about. The EX5 has a next-generation AI-powered assisted driving system that can navigate underground parking garages across multiple floors, recognize roundabouts, and identify highway gates autonomously. It has world behavior modeling with self-reflection capabilities. It has a system so advanced that Ford is trading factory space just to get access to the technology. If this was a Tesla, that's a $65,000 software package. If this was a Mercedes with their Drive Pilot system, you're looking at $80,000 minimum, easy. But this is the Geely EX5. When I tell you this car costs less than a Honda CR-V, you're going to think I'm lying, but I'm not. This is the biggest power shift in automotive history, and I'm about to show you why Ford just admitted they can't compete with China anymore. Let's go. Look at the face of this thing. Geely calls this their expanding cosmos design language, and honestly, it looks like it wants to eat a Toyota RAV4 for breakfast. The front fascia is aggressive, clean, and futuristic in a way that makes every American crossover look like it was designed in 2015. These headlights, oh man, these headlights. They're full LED matrix units with adaptive beam technology and these double-dash daytime running lights that look like eyes narrowing at you. There are over 120 individual LED elements in each headlight assembly. 120. Most American cars have maybe 12. And the grille? Oh wait, there isn't one. It's completely smooth. The entire front end is this seamless aerodynamic surface that cuts through air like a hot knife through butter. The drag coefficient on this thing is 0.27, which is borderline sports car territory. For context, the Ford Explorer is 0.36. This little crossover is more slippery than Ford's flagship SUV. Up top, you've got a roof-mounted sensor array that includes LiDAR, cameras, and millimeter-wave radar. It's like driving a CIA surveillance van, but it looks good doing it. That LiDAR unit can see obstacles 500 meters down the road. That's over a quarter mile. While American car companies are removing sensors to save money and calling it vision only, Geely is putting military-grade hardware on a $30,000 crossover. The presence of this car is wild. It's 4.6 meters long, about 15 feet, which puts it right in that sweet spot between compact and mid-size. It's got the presence of a luxury German crossover, but without the "did I scrape the undercarriage" anxiety because the ride height is actually practical. Let's talk wheels. These are 19-inch aerodynamic alloys with a turbine-style design that actually channels air to cool the brakes. In the US, you have to pay $2,000 extra for wheels this nice on a Ford Escape. Here, standard. The brake calipers are painted, the rotors are ventilated, and there's regenerative braking that can recapture up to 30% of your energy. Ford is still figuring out how to make their EVs go 200 miles. Geely is perfecting energy recovery. I walk up to the car, and the handles, they're flush with the body. I touch the door, and whoosh, they pop out automatically. Frameless doors, by the way. Soft close technology that makes my Ford F-150 feel like a tractor. You don't slam this door, you push it halfway and the car whispers, "I got you, bro," and seals itself with this satisfying mechanical precision that feels like closing a vault. The profile of this car is pure flow. There's a character line that runs from the front fender all the way to the tail lights, and it creates this sense of motion even when the car is parked. Air doesn't hit this car, it slides off it like butter on a hot pan. Every surface has a purpose, every curve is functional. This isn't styling for the sake of styling. This is engineering disguised as art. Now the rear. Oh, the rear. This taillight bar is one solid line of crimson red that stretches the entire width of the vehicle. It's called an illuminated blade design, and at night, this thing looks like a Cylon from Battlestar Galactica. When you brake, the entire bar pulses brighter from the center outward. It's not just a light, it's a statement. I'm walking around this car trying to find a gap. I'm trying to find misalignment. I'm looking for the typical Chinese build quality issues everyone loves to talk about. I can't find them. The panel gaps are tighter than a new Audi. The paint is flawless. The trim is flush. It's perfect. It's annoying how perfect it is. Why can't we build cars like this anymore? Okay, pop the hood. Or, well, let's talk about the magic underneath because there's no engine to see anyway. The Geely EX5 is front-wheel drive with a single electric motor in the base model. But here's where it gets interesting. That motor puts out 150 kilowatts, which translates to about 200 horsepower. Now, that doesn't sound crazy until you remember this is a 3,800-pound crossover. The power-to-weight ratio is better than a Ford Escape hybrid. But if you want the dual-motor all-wheel drive version, you add another 150 kilowatts to the rear axle. Combined output? 402 kilowatts. That's 402 horsepower in a family crossover that costs less than a Chevy Blazer. The torque is instant. 520 Newton meters. That's 383 pound-feet available the millisecond you touch the pedal. You stomp the accelerator and your head hits the headrest before your brain realizes you're moving. 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. For context, a Porsche Macan does it in 5.1 seconds and costs literally twice as much. This isn't just fast for an EV, it's fast, period. Now let's talk about the battery. The standard pack is a 62 kilowatt-hour lithium iron phosphate unit. Real-world range? About 420 kilometers on the CLTC cycle, which translates to roughly 280 miles in real-world mixed driving. That's more than a Chevy Bolt and way more than Ford's Mach-E standard range. But here's the illegal part. This is the part that changes everything. The EX5 is compatible with Geely's battery swap network. You heard me, battery swap. 3 minutes, you pull into a station, drive onto a platform, the car lifts slightly, robots underneath unbolt your depleted battery, slide in a fully charged one, bolt it back in, and you drive away. 3 minutes. You don't even get out of the car. You just sit there and check Instagram while robots give your car a fresh power supply. Tesla superchargers are great, but this is God tier. This solves the one problem every EV hater talks about. Charging takes too long. Not anymore. This is faster than filling up a gas tank. And the charging itself? 800-volt architecture. The car can accept up to 150 kilowatts on the DC fast charger, which means 10 to 80% in 28 minutes. But again, why would you wait when you can just swap?
Let's talk about the brain of this car. The GASD system. That stands for Geely Advanced Self-Driving, and it is powered by the World Action model. This isn't just adaptive cruise control with lane keeping, bro. This is AI that thinks. The car has 33 sensing units, 11 cameras, 5mm wave radars, 12 ultrasonic sensors, and 1 solid-state LiDAR unit on the roof. The computing power? Over 1,000 TOPS. For comparison, a Tesla with hardware 3 has about 144 TOPS. This car is 7 times smarter than a Tesla. What does that mean in real life? The EX5 can autonomously navigate underground parking garages. Not just park itself, navigate. It'll drive down ramps, across multiple floors, find a spot, and park. You get out of the entrance, the car parks itself 3 floors down. When you come back, you summon it from your phone and it drives back up to you. It recognizes roundabouts and knows how to yield properly. It can identify parking lot gates and highway toll gates and navigate through them without input. It sees cars cutting you off before they even start turning the wheel. The system has predictive modeling. It is practically impossible to crash this thing unless you're actively trying to. Ford is decades behind this. Literally decades. Open the door? Whoosh. The first thing that hits you isn't what you see, it's what you hear. Nothing. The silence is heavy. It's like stepping into a recording studio. Double laminated glass on every window, acoustic insulation in the floor, the roof, the doors. This is quieter than cars that cost $100,000. But then you touch the materials, and this is where I get a little mad at American luxury cars. I am hunting for plastic, and I cannot find it. Everything, and I mean everything, is wrapped in synthetic leather or soft touch materials. The dashboard is stitched. The door panels have quilted padding. The center console has this textured fabric that feels like premium furniture upholstery. The steering wheel is leather-wrapped with perforated grips and contrast stitching. It's heated, the entire rim, not just the parts your hands touch, the entire thing. The headliner isn't that cheap fabric you get in a Ford. This is microfiber suede that absorbs sound and feels like you're sitting under a luxury blanket. And the wood trim. Oh man, this isn't that fake glossy grandpa wood we're used to in American cars. This is real open-pore wood with texture. You can feel the grain. It feels organic. It feels alive. Now the technology centerpiece. Dead center in the dashboard is a 15.4-inch OLED screen. And notice I said OLED, not LCD. Most cars use LCDs that look gray and washed out in the dark. This screen has infinite contrast. The blacks are true black. The colors pop like a flagship smartphone. The resolution is better than my 4K TV at home. You swipe the map and it flies. Zero lag, zero stutter. The processor running this thing is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8295, which is the same chip used in high-end phones. It's fast, it's responsive, and the interface is intuitive. Apple CarPlay? Android Auto? Yeah, it has both. Wireless, obviously. But living on top of that dashboard, meet the AI assistant. It's not just a voice assistant, it's a physical character. That little module up there has a display with animated eyes. It blinks, it looks around the cabin, it reacts to your voice. When you talk to it, the eyes focus on you. It's like having Wall-E riding shotgun. You say, "Hey Geely, I'm cold," and it adjusts the temperature. You say, "Find me a coffee shop," and it pulls up options on the main screen. You say, "I'm tired," and it suggests activating massage mode. It changes the psychology of the car. You're not driving a machine, you're riding with a companion. I promise you, your kids would name this thing in 5 minutes and cry if you ever sold it. Now, the front passenger seat. They don't call it a passenger seat, they call it the zero-gravity throne. And gentlemen, if you buy this car, accept your fate. You are the chauffeur now. I press lounge mode on the screen. Watch what happens. The seat doesn't just recline, it transforms. First, it slides forward to create more legroom, then it tilts back, way back, further than any US car allows because there are no restrictive safety regulations preventing it. Then a motorized footrest folds out from the dashboard itself. Yes, the dashboard. Finally, the lumbar support inflates, the side bolsters hug you in, and the headrest adjusts. You are not sitting, you are lying down in the front seat of a crossover. And then the massage function kicks in. And I don't mean those weak air bladders that feel like a cat walking on you. I mean actual mechanical rollers. It has hot stone mode. It has kneading mode. It has a shiatsu mode that mimics deep tissue massage. It is more comfortable than my actual bed. I am not exaggerating. I could sleep here. I want to sleep here. For the driver, you aren't left out. There's a heads-up display projected onto the windshield. Not a tiny one, this is a full 25-inch AR display that shows speed, navigation, blind spot warnings, and adaptive cruise status. It's all floating on the road in front of you like a video game HUD. The audio system? A 12-speaker Infinity sound system tuned specifically for this cabin. I played Bohemian Rhapsody on this earlier, and I swear I heard Freddie Mercury take a breath before the high note. The staging is perfect. The bass is tight. The highs are crisp without being harsh. It's not a stereo, it's a concert hall on wheels. This interior isn't just nice for the price, it's nice for any price. It embarrasses cars that cost double. And that, my friends, is what makes this thing so scary for the competition. Let's talk space. This is a 5-seater with generous room in the back. I'm 6 feet tall, and when I sit behind my own driving position, I have 3 inches of knee room. 3 inches. That's more than a Honda CR-V. The second row has its own climate zone, 2 USB-C ports, and a fold-down center armrest with cup holders. Under the floor of the cargo area, a real fridge. Not a cooler, a fridge that goes down to 4 degrees Celsius. You can keep champagne cold back there, or juice boxes for the kids. Either way, it's a feature you can't even option on most American SUVs. The cargo space itself is 450 liters with the seats up, and over 1,300 liters with them folded flat. You can fit the whole family, the dog, the groceries, and everyone is getting a massage while drinking a cold soda from the fridge in the back. It is the ultimate road trip machine. Okay, this is the part that hurts. You've seen the AI-powered autonomous driving, you've seen the 800-volt fast charging and battery swapping, you've seen the OLED screen, the massage seats, the zero-gravity recliner, the LiDAR, the 19-inch wheels, and the premium interior materials. If this was a Tesla Model Y with full self-driving, it would be $68,000. If this was a Mercedes EQB with similar features, you're looking at $75,000 minimum. But this is the Geely EX5. In China, this car starts at roughly 158,000 yuan. That's about 22,000 US dollars. $22,000. For the price of a base model Chevy Trax or a used Ford Escape, you get a spaceship with AI and battery swapping. Now, obviously, this car isn't sold in the US yet, but that's the point. This is why we have tariffs. This is why the US government is panicking. Because if you could buy this car for $30,000 in California right now, game over. Who would buy a Ford Escape? Who would buy a Chevy Equinox? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. And that's exactly why Ford is now partnering with Geely. They can't compete. They admitted it. So instead, Ford is giving Geely access to their factories in Europe to build cars like this and avoid the EU's 18.8% tariff on Chinese EVs. And in return, Ford gets access to Geely's GASD-assisted driving technology so they can finally catch up. Let that sink in. Ford, the company that put America on wheels, is now learning from China how to build cars again. So here's the question I have to ask you. Forget politics for a second. Forget brand loyalty. Forget nationalism. Just look at the product. Would you rather have a $45,000 Ford Escape PHEV with 37 miles of electric range, a mediocre interior, no advanced driver assistance, and a 0 to 60 time of 7.5 seconds? Or would you rather have a $30,000 Geely EX5 with 280 miles of range, battery swapping, autonomous parking, massage seats, an AI companion, and 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds? I think we all know the answer, and frankly, it makes me a little jealous. We invented the car. Henry Ford revolutionized manufacturing, but right now it feels like we're driving in the past while China is living in the future. Let me know in the comments, would you buy a Geely EX5 if it was sold in your country? Would you trust Chinese technology over American brands? And honestly, do you think Ford can even catch up at this point, or is it too late? Smash that like button if this car blew your mind. Hit subscribe because we're going to keep covering these insane Chinese EVs that are reshaping the entire industry. Next week, I'm diving into the new Zeekr that has even crazier tech than this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.